Hip next on the MARR Army Rock Show. More great music out of Chicago, Illinois. We've had a lot of good bands come out of there. We have got Mark Noir with us. He's from The Outfit. Their sophomore record, Viking, is due out on March 27th. Mark, welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So, hey, I know it's your first visit to the MARR Army Rock Show. For our listeners that may not know your band yet, why don't you give me like a little brief history of the band? I mentioned your sophomore album's coming out, but give us a little bit of your background.
Yeah, we started up in mid-2016 and started recording. We released our debut album in February of 18, and we got a pretty good reaction to it. We've been out on the road a little bit touring with Soil, opening for them. We were out on several runs with them throughout the Midwest, and we just got back from a West Coast tour with them. But we put the first record out. We got some great reviews and great response. We charted one of our singles, Soldier Boy, ended up at number 34 in the Billboard mainstream rock chart, which was a big honor to have that happen. And after that little run with the first record, we went in to do our second album, which took about a year to complete the writing and recording process. And here we are today, releasing the sophomore record on March 27th, which is called Viking.
So, hey, man, the March 27th is the big drop date. Tell us a little bit more about, you mentioned the time frame, but you guys had a pretty cool producer you worked with. Why don't you tell us about who produced your record and what that process was like?
Sure. Yeah, we actually tracked the album in Chicago with a guy named Matt Mercado at Sonic Palace. But just as the first record, we went with Ulrich Wild out in Los Angeles, who's a fantastic producer, mixer, mastering guy. He did such a great job on our first record. Plus his credentials are just impeccable. You know,
I'd say, yeah. Why don't you drop a few names? Yeah.
Yeah, he's worked with everybody, but he's just a great guy, and he gets our sound, you know. And you know, when I gave him the stuff, he just said, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm into it. I like it." And we actually, you know, were with him just a couple of weeks ago. We were in LA. We played a show at the Whiskey A Go Go in mid-February, and Ulrich was out there, so we were hanging with him. But just a great guy and a great talent, and I think he brings a lot to our sound. You know, gives us that fat, you know, rock and roll, you know, in your face sound, which we're going for.
Now, the tune that is the title tune, I guess, of the record we call it, Viking's been getting a lot of positive attention. Tell us a little bit about the cool music video that goes along with that song and the idea behind that video.
Sure. Yeah, it was strange. I mean, we were at a rehearsal. Andy came in. He started doing the riff for Viking. We just fell into it and kind of wrote it, you know, there at practice. And we're like, man, this is a heavy, cool tune. So we're going to, you know, we had a show coming up, I think, a couple days later. And we said, you want to play it at the show? Yeah, let's play it. So we played it, and the crowd reaction was fierce for it. It was great. And then we continued to play it on the road on several dates that we did. And we always got a really favorable reaction to it. And we were sitting around, well, what are we going to call the new album? And we said, let's call it Viking. We get a great response on the song. I have no idea why Andy titled it Viking. I guess that's the song. You know, it's kind of cool. And he came up with those lyrics and the title track of the song. And we got a guy to do the video who was based out of Germany that I've been working with on some other things, and just told him pretty much what we were looking for, kind of like a dark, you know, Viking battle, you know, in the sea and all that. And he came up with all that footage concept and put that video together, and just came out really cool. And we got it out there. I think we're already at like 380,000 views on that thing on YouTube, which is amazing. And you know, we put it out as an early track for the record. What we did is we released it as a instant gratification track when we put the iTunes pre-order up. So it's been getting a lot of traction, and I think we got a lot of plays on Spotify too. I think it's over, I don't know if it's at 50,000 or 90,000, but it's up there. It's starting to roll. But so yeah, that wasn't really even the intended single. It's just a cool track that we love, and it's heavier, but it's always gotten a great response live, and it's starting to translate on the recorded side of it. But we got another single, our real single we're putting out. It's going to radio on March 24th. It's the first track on the album called "Come Alive," and we got that. Getting ready to drop, like I said, and we're just completing a video for that song as well.
Yeah, and then people that want to go pre-order, I think actually when I looked today, if you pre-order now on iTunes, you can get "Come Alive" now. I actually was listening to that today, and so folks that listen to this want to catch what that tune's like, go pre-order now. You'll get that one already, so that's pretty cool. Hey, now I guess in a way we could almost say like the band Soulja Boy. Did that kind of really like take your band up to that next level, next tier band? What did that song do for you guys?
Yeah, it gave us a lot of recognition. I mean, when anytime you can crack the Billboard radio charts and you're in there, with all the elite, company of these bands that are doing that, it just gives you that stamp of like, holy crap! All right, these guys are for real, So yeah, it was an amazing accomplishment, and I think it got us some people to look twice, at us, and we're just continuing to try to forge ahead. And we have, some shows coming up. Like I said, we just did the West Coast thing. We did Las Vegas. We did Whiskey A Go Go. We did San Diego. We did Phoenix. But coming up, what's exciting is we got on some dates with Puddle of Mud, which is kind of cool.
Nice.
So we'll be able to get our music out to more people that way. We appreciate their supporting the band, and they like the band. And so we're going to do like a show in July 10th at St. Andrews Hall in Detroit, and then we're doing Mudfest, which is with Puddle of Mud, Fuel Tank, and I think Trapped. We're doing that in Chicago, and then we got Puddle's doing another headline show in Moline, Illinois later in September that we're going to get on. So hopefully we'll get on some more of those kind of dates where we can kind of spread the word. So
yeah, people want to get out and see that tour, man. For folks that listen to this show, we've been big fans of Mudfest. We've seen it in a number of cities, and today's Puddle of Mud is not yesteryear's Puddle of Mud, man. They got their act together. They're rocking the house these days. So that is going to be a good tour.
Wes got it together. He's a great guy, and it's all I can really say. I mean, they're rocking it out. They're doing a great job now. So.
Yeah, man, it's a great tour. Good friends with Tantric on that one a lot too. So awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm curious, man. You're the drummer. The writing process. I feel like sometimes the drummers get like overlooked by the outsider in the writing process. Tell us what the writing process like. You're in the studio. What's it look like for the drummer? How important is that, and what's your role in it?
I mean, pretty much the way I look at it, the way the guys look at it, we all contribute to the making of the song. So Andy may come up with a melody or whatever, but I'll always, what'll happen is he'll send me a track, and then he'll tell me, hey, can you write the drums to this track, and then he'll send me that, and I'll record it, and on my little playback thing I do here with my headphones, and I'll write the drums for it. So I'll put the drums in, and the other guys will add, Matt will add all his stuff on the guitar end of it, and Mike Gorman adds the bass to it. So we look at it, we all kind of contribute to the making of the song and the making of the sound, the outfit. So I know a lot of bands, don't feel the same way, or it'll be like, oh, hey, I write all the songs. This is what But I think it's a healthy environment to do it that way, because everybody's getting credit, everybody's contributing, and as it should be, and everybody's working together to make the song, basically. So but that's how we do it. And, we'll usually I'll write all the drums before we hit the studio, obviously, and once we get in the studio, usually the way we do it is I'll cut the drum tracks with Mike Gorman, the bass player, and Matt will do like a scratch guitar track, and we get the foundation done first.
Yeah. Hey, if I read it right, your brother's in the band with you, correct? That is correct, right?
Yeah, my brother Matt. Yeah.
So, how early on did you guys begin playing music together? Was this something that you've been doing since little kids, or just happened as teenagers? Tell us about how you guys got together and who was playing what at the beginning.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, I wasn't playing anything, and he was a guitar player. He's a little older than me. He was a guitar player, and I just remember growing up in the house, he and I have an older brother too. They would always be playing music and exposed me to music and got me into everything. And then Matt one day said, you should start playing an instrument. Why don't you play drums? And I said, well, maybe. And I remember, him giving me like these pots and pans and a couple pencils. And I started like just screwing around, like listening to albums and playing, trying to learn how to play. And then I convinced my dad into giving me like $50 to buy a really old used 3-piece, Ludwig drum set. And, just did that. I kept graduating. All right. So I got the drums. I started playing. I kept playing. It was just, infatuated with playing. So that's how that happened. And my brothers, they had a band prior, that they did and played the Chicago scene and the circuit and all that stuff, and had different drummers. And by the time I was like 16 or so, they lost a drummer, and they said, hey, why don't we just get Mark, our brother, to come in and do it. And so I did, and I was actually very young, and I was playing all these crazy rock clubs in Chicago, at
16 age. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's how I got into it. But that's how we played together for a long time, and then kind of broke off for a while. We didn't play, family lives happened and stuff, and then around 2016 or so, Matt came to me and said, hey, let's start playing again. Let's create a band, and that's how we got the outfit going, basically. So.
Well, man, they are the Outfit from Chicago, Illinois. We've had Mark Noir with us. He's the drummer of that band. Their album Viking comes out on March 27th. But as I mentioned, you can go over to iTunes, pre-order that thing right now. You'll get 2 tracks. You'll get Come Alive and Viking right now if you go pre-order that thing. So, Mark, man, I appreciate you taking time with us today, and good luck on the release of the record.
Thanks a lot. We appreciate it. We appreciate you having us on the show.